April. If you're new here, I'm an LPN student. I have 6 more months left until I'm a licensed practical nurse, so I'm excited about that. Right now, I work as a lead pharmacy technician with CVS. I've been a pharmacy tech for over 6 years now, and my channel is basically my journey in nursing school and my journey in my healthcare journey. So, welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about why I chose the LPN route over the RN route. And let's first get into the obvious. LPN school is shorter, so you're looking at about 1 year to 15 months long. My program is 15 months long, so I started in December of 2025 and I'll be graduating March 10th of 2026. When you compare that to an RN program or BSN program, well, first you have to take your prereqs. And for me personally, I was in a BSN program in Maryland. I actually failed out by 2%, so that's why I am back in school again, because I didn't give up. But anyway, you have to take your prereqs before you can get into a RN or BSN nursing program, and your prereqs can take anywhere between 1.5 years to 2 years. For me, my prereqs took me about 1.5 years to complete. I had to take anatomy, physiology 1 and 2, microbiology, general chemistry. I had to take English 101. I had to take Psych 101, Psych 102. I also had to take introduction to biology, and I also had to take electives. So I did religion, and then I also did ethics, because I also had to take ethics for my nursing program. And then it's stupid, you have to take a gym credit, so I did like walking. I could do it like remote, like from home, so I just did a walking class. So yeah, I mean, they take a long time to take. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I also had to take statistics, which I actually love statistics, but anyway. So yeah, you're looking at about 1 year to 2 years to take your prereqs, and then the actual program can be anywhere between 1 to 2 years. So if you're going the RN to BSN route, you're looking at probably about 3 to 4 years long between your prereqs and the actual nursing program. LPN is different. LPN is, like I said, 1 year to 15 months. For the most part, it depends on the program, but for the most part, you don't have to take prereqs to get into the program. For mine, for instance, I just had to take my TEAS test, which is basically an entrance to nursing to show what you already know and where you are at with English and math and some science. To begin my program, I also had to do a background check and like a child abuse check-off thing, where I guess I didn't abuse children, or I'm not on any list anywhere that's like for criminals. So I did that. I had to do my fingerprinting. I also had to get CPR certified, my BLS certification, and that had to be in person. And I also had to get my vaccines up to date, because for clinicals, you have to be vaccinated to be working around people. But yeah, it wasn't hard to get into the program for me. I know I have heard there are LPN programs where it can be more competitive, but there are a lot of LPN programs in every state, so you can just do your research. What I would recommend though is nursing school is hard. Like, it is so hard, and it's so important to find a good program that actually teaches. I know that sounds crazy, but for instance, the last program I was in, my BSN program, they didn't really teach. I felt like our lectures were just podcasts of going off topic, and then we would have an exam, and it was like, I don't know what this is. Like, where did this information even come from? And I don't know, when you do your prerequisites, you're used to memorization, and nursing school is different. It's not just memorization, it's critically thinking. So they'll give you a scenario, and you have to pick the best answer. So all the questions can be the right answer, but you have to choose the best. It takes time to adjust to that type of, that style of questions. So the first 3 exams, I didn't do well on them. Like, I failed by maybe a couple of points. And then by the end, like I said, I failed by 2%. So I do recommend finding a program where the students do well, where there's not so much of people failing out. I think it's important to find out how many students complete the actual program from start to finish, because that's important information to know when you're choosing a program. For my program, I heard really great things about it. they don't really have that many people that fail out because they actually teach, and the instructors there are very dedicated to the students. If you're struggling in any type of way, they really try to help you see what's going on. I know in my last program, they would do a sit down with me, but they just asked me, oh, so, they'd go over the exam. They were like, why did you choose this answer? So I would tell them, they'd write down my response, and then they'd go on the next. So why'd you choose this one? Okay, but wait a minute, like, is this for you or is this for me right now? Because you're going over these questions, you're not explaining why I got them wrong or how to improve. So what is this for? See, this program that I'm in now, my LPN program, they would sit down and they will explain things in depth. The instructors are so helpful. And honestly, I haven't failed one exam with my program. I actually have gotten A's on almost every single exam I've taken, if not, B's. But I feel confident. When I sit down for my exam, I feel confident. I feel like I'm prepared to take that exam because they prepare me. So it's really important to find a program that is going to actually teach you and that will set you up for success. I wish I found my program sooner because I would have been a nurse by now. So there's that. And if you guys want, just to keep this video on topic, if you want me to make an extra video aside from this video on tips to look out for your LPN program, like what to look out in that program, let me know in the comments because I'll have no problem helping you guys, what tips to look out for programs that you're looking at. But let's get back on track. So yeah, the LPN program is shorter and you are a nurse. Like, there's a registered nurse, and a registered nurse can have their associates or their bachelor's. And then there's a licensed practical nurse, LPN, and you're a nurse. Like, I know there's this weird stigma on social media where people like bash LPNs, like, oh, you're just a little paid nurse. I'm a nurse, so watch what you say. You get a license. It's a licensed practical nurse. You still sit for the NCLEX exam, so you are a competent nurse. And for me, since I did do one semester in my BSN program, and I did fundamentals of nursing in my BSN program, and I've done a fundamentals of nursing in my LPN program, I will say, obviously, they go more in depth with the BSN program, I'm not gonna lie. But for my LPN program, I'm still learning the same content. It's just not as in depth, but you're still learning how to get to have a good foundation in nursing. Just main points to look out for. It mostly focuses on the adult or like geriatric public, but yeah, it's just slightly different. But you're still learning the same as the BSN. Like, it's just the BSN is a little more in depth, but you're still learning the same topics. So, you're still a nurse when you come out of an LPN program. And then the next topic is pay. Before I decided to go into the LPN program, I did my research. I looked and saw how much LPNs got paid for around me. So currently I live in Pennsylvania, although I hate Pennsylvania. People drive so slow up here and the roads are horrible. And it's so congested. Don't move up here. But anyway, MPA, you're looking at about $35, sometimes even $50 an hour, depending on how desperate they are. But I'll just go ahead and leave the job listings here that are on Indeed currently. My boyfriend and I were thinking about moving back to Maryland for a little bit because we might move to South Carolina when I'm done school. So in Maryland, this is what you're looking at for LPNs. This is, jobs that are on Indeed right now. So as you can see, they make a good competitive wage. It's great pay. And for LPNs, your job security is like chef's kiss. Like, you can get a job the next day if you quit your job. Like, there's so many job opportunities for LPNs. And there's so many places you can work. It's crazy. If you want a clinic job, you're looking at maybe like $30 to maybe $37 an hour. You can also work in a lot of nursing homes. For me, that's just not a good fit for me, just because I did my geriatric clinicals and I fastly saw how that was not for me. But a lot of nursing homes are really desperate. They need nurses because, LPNs or registered nurses are the only ones that can pass out medications or, med techs, but they need LPNs. So for money is just, there's so many opportunities to make money. A lot of places have sign-on bonuses. I've seen some that are like $5,000 sign-on bonuses. Like, it just depends on how desperate the facility is. So You can find jobs and make bank being an LPN. You can also work agency. So once you get your experience, you can go onto an agency website and they can connect you to facilities that are in desperate need of nurses, and the pay is so much per hour. I mean, I love watching videos and, you know, learning what's out there. And I've seen a lot of videos of girls that travel to another state just to make $60 to $70 an hour because they're so desperate for a nurse that they're gonna pay good money. The pay is just really like, I mean, there's so many opportunities to make more money. And, you know, if you're a hustler like me, you know, like the sky's the limit. Like, there's just so many opportunities out there to make good money. There's LPNs first year that are making 100 grand a year. Like, it just depends on how much you work, obviously, if you want to work overtime, and what type of jobs you pick up. Or if you want a good work-life balance, you know, there's even work from home LPNs, remote, you know, LPNs. You can be a nurse coder. There is like insurance companies that hires for nurses. I can make another video of, you know, remote nurse jobs if you guys would like, comment down below. But there's so many opportunities, it's like crazy. And that's just for nurses in general. We'll always need nurses, you know, like as we move towards, you know, AI and stuff like that, nurses can't be replaced. Like, we're in there hands-on, like taking care of patients. Can a robot or AI do that? Not right now, but maybe in the future. But yeah, so there's just so many opportunities to make good money, and there's so many jobs out there. Another reason why I chose LPN is the room for advancement. I mean, you know, you can start as an LPN, and then there's so many online programs like Chamberlain University, Nightingale of Nursing, Excelsior Nurse University, but you can do an LPN to RN bridge program, and it'll be shorter in length. You can also do an accelerated program from LPN, which will be like a year long. But there's definitely room for advancement. You know, there's nurses out there that start as LPNs and go to be a nurse practitioner or CRNA. There's this one guy on TikTok. I love watching his videos because he's a hustler and super motivating. But you guys have probably heard of him, Nurse Jeffrey. He just became an LPN, and he has a lot of mentors that he's, you know, connected with online that are CRNAs, and, you know, they're helping guide him, you know, to become a CRNA. And right now he's working as an LPN and going to school to finish to be a registered nurse, and then he wants to go back to be a CRNA. So there's so much room for advancement. Nursing is such a growing, advanced field. It's a great career. When you go for an LPN, you are getting a career. Like, it is a great career to get in 12 months to 15 months. So it's a rewarding career, and it pays well. So yeah, so that's another reason why I chose LPN. And back on the reason why I personally chose LPN, since the program is shorter, I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. It's just with finances and everything, I don't have any support from my family, never have, never will. You know, it's just what it is. It's always been me on my own since I was 19 years old. I've been on my own, and, you know, it was always, you know, the question of, do I afford a roof over my head or do I go to school? Because I have to be able to support myself while I'm in school, whatever route I go. Luckily, I am blessed. You know, my boyfriend now, he has helped me tremendously. Like, he pays for most of our bills while I've been in school because I can only work part-time. So because of him, I was able to go to school. But right now we are struggling, you know, because it's just mainly his income and my part-time, you know, paycheck working at the pharmacy. So I needed something that wouldn't take too long because I don't want to struggle for a long time. We're barely making it, you know, month by month. Like, our bills are so high. Our rent here in Pennsylvania, $2,000. He has a car note. His car, I think he has like a 2021 Volkswagen Jetta or whatever, but it's crazy. His car note per month is like $500. My Jeep is paid off. It's a 2016 Jeep Patriot's paid off, but his car is expensive and he has high insurance. My insurance isn't bad. But yeah, it's expensive. Like, you guys know, it's tough out here. especially when you don't have any help. You know, a lot of my classmates, they're blessed. They have their parents or family that can help them. I don't. So I needed something that was fast. LPN, I knew, okay, we can suffer for 15 months. We got this. Like, we can do this. And then when I am done, you know, we'll just pay back whatever debt I've accumulated, because I unfortunately did have to take out loans to go through school. Either way, I would have had to take out loans because for whatever reason, the government thinks I make too much to get any Pell Grant. So, and I only make $26.06 an hour, you know, and then when I give vaccines, it's $28 an hour, but with all of our bills, that's, you know, like not enough, like, anymore. So I'm not getting any help. I had to take out the max for my federal loans. Over the summer, I did take out a $5,000 loan to help pay for the rest of my program, because I knew that I would owe at least $3,000 out of pocket for me to finish my program. And then my car, it just broke down, you know, about a month ago. The alternator, the serpentine belt, and the battery were all damaged. It basically wouldn't start one morning, so I had to get it towed to, you're gonna hear my dog. I had to get it towed to the auto shop, and that was $2,000. So that took away my money, but she's squeaking a lot right now, so I apologize for my dog. But anyway, so she's crazy. You just have to see. My dog is like going nuts. Noah, what are you doing? No, what are you doing? Stop. Why do you always have to do this when I'm recording? Huh? Why? She's crazy. Pomeranians have big personalities in their tiny little bodies. It's kind of crazy. Be a good girl. Stop. So because of finances and being on my own and all that, I wanted something fast. So LPN is great for people that are out on their own and want to have a career fast, you know, but don't have 3-4 years to dedicate to school. And another good thing about becoming an LPN is, since you go through the nursing curriculum, like I said, I had to start with fundamentals of nursing in my BSN program, and I started with fundamentals of nursing in my LPN program. Since you're going through that curriculum anyway, when you go back to pursue to be a registered nurse, you're already going to be prepared to do well in your registered nurse classes. It just kind of gives you like a head start. Another thing is that you can work, you know, as a nurse. You know, once you graduate as an LPN, you can work on the weekend. You can do 2 12-hour shifts during the weekend, 24 hours. You make good money that can pay probably for like most of your bills, and then do, you know, an RN program Monday through Friday. It gives you a better foot to stand on, if that makes sense, for you to pursue, you know, advancing your nursing career. So that's another reason why I chose LPN, because I was like, I know I want to go back to school, and at least when I am done, I can work and also go back to school, and then I'll be better prepared for those classes. And I already stepped from the NCLEX once, I can do it again. Those are the reasons why I personally chose the LPN route. If you guys have any questions, or, you know, if you want me to address anything, please comment down below. I would love to answer your question, or if I can help you in any way. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'm gonna keep trying to post content here along my nursing career journey. But I hope you guys have a great day, and good luck with whatever route you guys choose. Bye.